guys, welcome back. First of all, let me say a happy long weekend to everyone. I know people in Trinidad celebrating Indian Arrival Day, so happy Indian Arrival Day to you guys. And everyone in the US celebrating Memorial Day. So hope you guys have fun this weekend. Today I'm gonna do a dessert, and this is a Muslim dessert that's popular around Ramadan time or for Eid-Al-Fitr. And Eid-Al-Fitr marks the end of the 30-day fasting period of Ramadan for the Muslim community. And on that day, they cook a lot of different foods and they make a lot of desserts to commemorate the end of their fasting period. So today I'm going to show you guys how I make my version of sawine. And I actually went to a Muslim school in Trinidad, and on the week of Eid, they would tell you to bring a little cup and they'd give you sawine. So that was one of the fun parts of going to a Muslim school. And the neighborhood I lived in Trinidad, there were a lot of Muslim neighbors around. So they would bring like Stereotex containers with sawine for us on Eid. So my siblings and I would fight over the sawine when it reached because we had our own personal favorites. So I'm gonna show you guys my version and I hope you enjoy it. I also forgot to mention that I just met with Chris from CaribbeanPot.com. We actually met a couple hours ago and he is such an amazing guy. He's so down to it. Just as how cool he is in his videos, he's just like that in real life. So go check him out at his channel on Caribbean Pot or his website CaribbeanPot.com or chrisdelarosa.com. So these are all the ingredients you'll need for the sawine or the vermicelli, and I know Guyanese people call it Vamazelli because one of my Guyanese friends told me that's what they call it. So I have one package or 200 grams of sawine, and this hasn't been parched as yet, or we say patched in Trinidad. So this is just the regular sawine or vermicelli, and we're gonna parch this before we use it. I have cardamom seeds here or elychee seeds. You can use the powdered one as well, and we're gonna crack the shell on the outside, and the seeds we're gonna use the mortar and pestle to ground it up, or you can even put it in a blender or food processor to form it into a powder. I have some cloves as well, a cinnamon stick, some almonds. This is just regular slivered almonds. You can also use raisins, cherries, anything you want to use for this, but you want to add that at the end, or only when you're serving it, you're going to add the raisins on top. We're not going to cook the raisins and the cherries in the sawine. I also have some water, some condensed milk, some full cream or stay fresh milk, and I put the peanut butter here to show you guys that you can also add peanut butter to the sawine, but you're gonna add this at the end after you add your milk and everything. So you don't have to use exactly what I'm using in this recipe. You can make yours however you want. You can add carnation or evaporated milk in place of full cream milk, and instead of condensed milk you can add sugar. And I'm also gonna add a dash of salt to it as well because the salt really brings out all the flavors. You can also add some vanilla essence to this, or almond essence, or vanilla extract. So all the exact ingredients that I'm gonna be using, it's gonna be on the screen, and it's also gonna be in the down bar below, so go check that out. Okay, so I have a massive pot here, and it actually took up 2 burners. So I put both of the burners on medium heat, and this pot is actually only used to make parasad. So this pot does not contain any curry or any pepper residue. And if you're using a regular pot that you cook in, make sure that it doesn't contain any pepper or anything, because when you make the sawine, it pulls all those flavors out from the pot. So to this I'm gonna add my pack of sawine, because you want it to parch, or in Trinidad we would say you want it to patch. And you can break it up into smaller pieces if you want. I just like to smash the bag. And you want it to get nice and golden brown. And that should take anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes. And some people usually parch their sawine with ghee or golden ray butter or regular butter. So you can do that if you want. That's not how I do mine. My dad actually uses golden ray butter to parch his, but I just like to do it this plain way. And you want to keep turning it because you want the sawine or the vermicelli to brown evenly. So just keep turning it. So as you can see, it's gotten a really nice golden brown color, and this is what you want. And sometimes there are some people who sell the sawine patched already, so you can get that. But at this stage, you want to add your water in. And when you add the water, because the pot is so hot, it's gonna sizzle up a lot. So just don't be scared. So you're gonna boil this for about 5 to 10 minutes until the sawine is cooked and it's nice and tender. So at this point, I'm gonna actually add my cinnamon and my cloves in there because I want it to really infuse into the sawine. And we're gonna let this boil for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's nice and tender. I'm also gonna add the elychee or the cardamom at this point, and I just lightly grounded it with the mortar and pestle, but you can strain it as well, just so that you don't get those big chunks. But I like the big chunks of cardamom. So because my pot is so huge, I think I need to add a little bit more water. So after about 10 minutes, the sawine should be cooked, and you can just break one of them. You don't want it to be gloopy. You want it to be nice and tender like this. So at this point, we're gonna add the milk in. And I'm also gonna add some condensed milk. And you don't have to add a lot. You can just add how much you want. If you're diabetic, you can substitute condensed milk or sugar for something else. Maybe you can use some honey. So you're just gonna stir the condensed milk with the full cream milk. And now is a good time to just add a dash of salt. And the salt is really gonna enhance the flavor of the sawine. And at this point, you can also add a little bit of peanut butter if you want, just to give it an extra kick. My dad actually likes to add peanut butter to his. That's why I showed you that way of doing it. So you can do that if you want. I'm gonna add the nuts at this time so they can kind of soften up a little bit and cook in the sawine. Okay, so after about 5 minutes, your milk and your sawine and everything should be cooked nicely. So at this point, you want to turn it off. And I like to eat mine cold, so I'm gonna let this cool down a bit. You want it to let it cool completely to room temperature, and then put it in the fridge to chill for a few hours. So what you can do is you can have some raisins, some cherries, some nuts on the side, and when you're gonna serve it to your guests, then you can add whatever you want on top. So that way people can use whatever toppings they want on their sawine, because some people don't like nuts, some people don't like raisins. Like me, I don't like raisins. So usually when my dad makes his, he puts everything on the side, and then we add whatever toppings we want on top when we're gonna eat it. So I hope you guys enjoyed my simple and easy sawine recipe. This is just the way I make it. You guys can do it however you want. And because the pot is so large, it looks like it doesn't have enough liquid or enough milk, but that's just because the pot is so massive. So if you want to adjust any other measurements, you can do so. All the exact measurements are listed below, as I said before. And I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to see all my latest videos, and leave me all your comments in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!